Good day, Corey Gaffey here, lab tech for the Justice. I'm the lab tech for the Justice Studies Department here at Niagara College. We're going to do right now. We're in the simulation room. Right. I apologize for my muffling, ladies and gentlemen. We got COVID restrictions in. We follow the PPE guidelines, so I'll try my best to make sure that my voice is clear as we're talking through these masks. So here we are in the simulation lab. Okay. The purpose of this room is to take what we learn in lecture as far as geared towards crisis intervention, conflict management, right? Introductory use of force techniques, right? As we go on the room, we'll point out some references that we use here at the college that are used in the policing industry, in the security industry, in the CBSA job, as well as we have the ability and we have a department that takes care of corrections learnings as well, right? So this is all what this room is for, is that in the lecture hall, we come here in the lab and we practice the theory, right? It's under the framework of experiential learning, right? Where we practice what we've been taught from a physical standpoint, and then we have the ability not only from the instructor-student, but also student-to-student peer reviews, right? So we all learn, it's a hands-on learning technique, and it also, the bigger point, so all the equipment, the tools that the learner is going to eventually encounter as they go off in the job, they're introduced to them here, right? So they have an understanding of this is what the tool is, this is how you hold the tool, this is what the tool is intended to do, right? So that when they get to OPC, the hope is that they're a step ahead of any other collegiate peer that didn't have that experiential learning lab. This is where we can practice techniques, practice client approaches, compliant arrests. We can practice de-escalation, right? When it comes to use of force, using cover, concealment, all those types of activities within this large space. Right? As you see going around, you'll see different things. For example, we have lots of black Parisians, right? You'll see them up. We use these to create different rooms, right? For different environments, for different atmospheres. Okay, so moving right along. Again, big whiteboards we have. We can put the information, topic of the day. This big screen comes down and it becomes an interactive tool, right? Through the training lab simulation room, we have virtual reality type of interactions where we can use our kit. They're laser tuned to the scenario, and they can have a use of force de-escalation interaction in a virtual reality type of environment, okay? As we come around, right, we got our protective PPE equipment for COVID policies. You can see here, this is the advanced, our third year locker, our ALI, Advanced Law Enforcement and Investigations locker, and you can see they're all assigned their own belts, right? Blue guns, flashlights, OC spray, blue OC spray, and mechanical restraints, handcuffs, right? All assigned for the learner so they can get used to it, right? We have breakout rooms, breakout offices, also individual lockers for instructors, okay? Pylons that we use for different identifiers, right? Identify blue, identify red, identify green. When we do things like cutting the pie, slicing the pie techniques. Moving along, you can see we have the first year, second year lockers, okay? Training belts with training kit, okay? What's really nice about this, as we move into second year, you can see, guys, we have actual patrol cars. We have a police car, and we have a civilian car. So we can move these into the middle of the room and have a situation where we're performing an actual traffic stop, right? So now we're engaged in a very realistic situation of where do we park the car? What do we say? How do we phone in? What do we need to be aware of in the client's car? What are we looking for? We can play all those out, the things that we learn in lecture hall. We come here to the sim lab and we recreate the simulation and we play it out, right? Again, that experiential learning, right? Get as close to the real deal as possible before they're in the real deal, okay? Coming along the lab, you can see here in the back corner we have a mock jail cell, okay? With a mock, we can push these cars forward again. We can pull out the bench and we can have a mock jail cell and a mock prison yard, right? So now our correction students are learning in an environment that they're going to be comfortable with when they go off into their job, right? An actual prison-like environment. How do you search a cell, right? What does a cell feel like? Even when you, like that's a heavy, so you get used to that boom, that heaviness. You can see too, guys, if we look to the wall, right? We got the use of force continuum, right? Got the use of force continuum here, right? This is for the corrections piece. You can see the difference, the big difference is there's no firearms ability with the correctional use of force continuum. When we come around before we leave the lab, I'll show you the police use of force continuum. We have them posted all over the laboratory. Liquor license, right? A bar situation, right? So you have a mock bar, right? People are coming in, you get a call, lots of police officers, they have to deal with rowdy customers, right? So we can get glass banging, we can have registers going, people sitting on stools. How do you deal with that, right? Again, moving on, this is a really part of the lab that I enjoy. It's near and dear to my heart because it's in regards to mental health, right? How to deal with mental health. We have a mock bedroom, right? Where we'd have maybe a teenager in crisis, right? Or a conflict between a spouse, domestic conflict, and we can play it out as if we're now in a bedroom, right? Even better going forward, we can move up from the bedroom into the living room, right? Now we have a mock living room, right? Where you can see set up couches, tables, end tables, right? Coffee tables, pillows, and we can use these things. We can interact with them as any officer would, right? And then get an idea of how we would position ourselves, where we position ourselves. What if there's two officers involved, right? Does one sit down? Does one stand up? We can play that all out with the instructor giving the professional guidance, but the student getting the benefit of the experiential learning, right? Close to the real deal as possible. Okay, guys, welcome to our courtroom lab, right? It's a little bit disarrayed in regards to we're using this courtroom as double duty with COVID. We're also using it as a lab because we have to split kids up. But normally, as you can see, there's rows of desks that the student sits at, and at the front we have a mock courtroom, right? We have a mock witness stand, okay? A mock prosecutorial stand, right? And a mock judge table, right over there. The witness stand's over there, judge table, witness stand, okay? Again, it's a little bit sporadic because we're using space for COVID, but the important part is you can see again, as we go around on the walls, right? On the walls, you can see, even though the learner is sitting down in a courtroom atmosphere, there's still the importance, right, of the searching, the proper search, searches and arrests. Know your LAC acronym, know your MELD acronym. As we move around, you can see on their side the use of force continuum, okay? Both for the police officer and for the corrections officer, right? Big, bold, right in your face, right? The idea is that that's engraved into this learner's head by the time they graduate from Niagara College, right? They have a fundamental understanding of the use of force continuum and how to articulate the actions that they take. Okay, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. We're now here in our forensic laboratory, right? So all within the same cul-de-sac, within the same area, we have our simulation lab, we have our courtroom lab, and we have our forensic lab, okay? So that's all in a central area, make it as easy as possible for the student to know which room, where we're going, right? This one's very impressive, right? Really interesting. You can see it's a clean room, right? Room's very clean. We have metal counters, right? Very clean white shelving. This room, ladies and gentlemen, again, forensic lab. Photographing, fingerprinting, document analyzation, okay? This is what's happening in this room. Quickly I took out, you can see every learner gets a kit. We have kits just up in the shelving. You can see here we have kits in the shelf, and in there we have swabs, we have notebooks, we have magnifiers, right? We have fingerprint ink powder, right? So we got the lift kit, right? All we need to document and analyze the lifting of fingerprints, okay? Each learner, again, it's done from, the professors who teach this course are straight from the Niagara Regional Police, who are forensic analysts themselves, right? So we have lectures right from the NRP that are doing this job online as we speak now, right? You see some empty beer bottles, right? Lift prints from beer bottles. As we move down the line, again, each student has their own laboratory space, looks much like a lab, right? Forensic lab. Each learner has their own assigned area. Also, each learner gets their own assigned kit, right? Within a backpack, right? Within the kit, you have, again, storage containers, right? And very important, very good cameras, right? They learn how to take proper photographs for evidentiary value for court, right? Based upon the policies and procedures accepted by the court, right? So they're learning right out of college, right? This is a year 3 for the ALI program. Right out of college, they're learning how to lift prints, take photographs, and then at the end of the day, they come down here and they use the magnifying machine for document analyzation, okay? They can blow it up from here. You can put things on the flat screen, right? Blow it up, have a look at the flat screen. What's the print looks like? What's the document look like? looking at not only, we think prints, of course, for policing, we think photographs or evidence, but document analyzation comes in big for our CBSA program, right? Our students who are going on to be Canadian Border Service agents, right? All the passport issues, right? All the identification, all the fraud that comes with ID fraud, right? This is where they learn the high level knowledge, right? Third year in this room here, the forensic laboratory. Okay, hello folks. We're now here in the fitness lab for the Justice Studies School. Professor Candy, a professional athletics instructor, is running it for us. And as you can see and as you can hear, they're actually training for the physical test, for the policing test, for the PAIR test, for the prep test, whatever the acronym is for the agency. But it's the beep test, right? The beep test, the 20-meter beep test. And they're throwing in some sit-ups in between, right? So again, it's that idea that by the time that they're graduated, they're going to be doing the test no problem because they've already done the test, right? And this room, as you can see, is designed just for the Justice Studies student to get in their very best shape possible as they graduate from the program.